Hello there. Thank you so much for coming this far. You're probably here because you would like to learn how you can scale your agency by selling marketing automation. In the next 30 minutes, I will share with you 3 different ways you can package marketing automation and sell them to your clients, including details of each plan, sample pricing, how you can use licensing to create upsells, and how to work with the customer. So I have a lot of details to share with you there. Second, tips and tricks we learned working 10 years side by side with thousands of digital agencies, and how you can sell better, close deals more, have more upsells and more value on the service that you're offering. I'll also include a few different automations that you can deploy yourself as an agency to be able to scale. And last but not least, my favorite part is I'll be giving you direct access to thousands and thousands of dollars worth of contracts, frameworks, and material that we spent years and years putting together. You can repurpose our contracts that you can sign with your customers, the proposals, and use them for your own business to get started pretty much immediately. As you can see, we got a lot to cover, so please, I beg you, put all your distractions away, shut down your messengers, and snooze your messaging for about 30 minutes. You'll get a lot of benefits from this presentation. All right, so let's get started. Here are 3 ways you can package marketing automation. And we got here because as the CEO of VBout, I had the pleasure from marketing automation platform, a technology pioneer that worked closely with agencies, thousands of agencies over 10 years, we learned how agencies resell. And although there are more ways to package and sell marketing and marketing automation, these are the 3 ways that we've seen agencies craft a niche and create a business. So the first form is going to be strictly selling platform with included templates that you build together. Okay? This is perfect for trainers, resellers, and coaches who go out and teach in public. They do webinars and seminars, and they sell platform to create that recurrent revenue. The second is going to be market automation setup and consultancy service. This is a hybrid or between reselling just the software and maintenance and management. And I'll dive a little bit into each one of these, by the way. And it's perfect for consultants, trainers who are selling upsells as well, including upsells and upgrades to what they're offering. Okay? It doesn't include necessarily the entire management on a month-to-month basis, but it could include some monthly recurrent revenue for basic maintenance. Finally, fully managed marketing service that has everything and covers the setup, the training, the month-to-month management, the tweaking, optimization of the campaign. So these are the 3 main packages, or 3 different ways, and let's start with the first way of selling marketing automation. This one is selling strictly platform. Okay, so in terms of expectations, it's not necessarily the tool that sells. People do not care about platforms and tools and bulky tech. All they care about are end result. So assuming you're a consultant or a coach, and you know, for instance, if you are training other bodybuilders on how they become trainers themselves, you've created a whole bunch of content like landing page designs for capturing people looking for health and fitness tips. You want to resell all that good stuff you've tested, built, and you know it works over time to these trainers to be, right? Bodybuilders who want to become trainers like you. So you would create those landing pages, design them in a system, which is VBout. You can create those email templates, nice looking templates. They could be kind of non-branded in a way, so they could simply slap their logo and tweak some of the content, and of course add their own personality to it. You can create those beautiful workflows of what happens when a new customer joins, and you can sell them 30 days worth of tips for free, and then how you can upsell. So assuming you know how to create a funnel at this stage, and by the way, I'll be including a link and probably a follow-on email on how you can access our academy on how to build marketing funnels. But this is not the topic for today. Assuming you know how to do this, you will be able to package it, make them ready by industry. So let's say you work with bodybuilders and yoga instructors, and you were able to get it down to a system. You can bundle these together and you can simply sell them with ready templates. Most platforms out there, they come with general kinds of templates, general automations, general email, but they don't necessarily come with ready-made copy for that niche industry. So with that, I think you'll have a lot of leverage, and the expectation is you're just selling platforms. Now within VBout, we let you create those different, what we call campaign groups by niche industry, so your clients can simply get an account through you as a reseller, and then claim the account and get access to those amazing content and templates you've created. Usually, you price this per plan. And in VBout, from a reseller perspective, you get access to pricing no one else has. If someone or the client you're working with is coming to buy things from us, they won't be able to. You can create your own packages, your own plans, and it could be a plan that is costing you with us $30, your customers will need to pay us $100 to $200 to get access to the same plan. So we give you exclusive access to things that end consumers cannot sign up on their own. Okay, so this is a big benefit of actually becoming a reseller in the VBout's case. So in terms of pricing, your markup can easily be 200-300% of your cost to VBout. So a $100 plan on VBout that's costing you, you can repackage it and sell it at $300, okay? Of course, you can create smaller tiers and then upgrade, but you want to be charging for those templates that you're building. And maybe you can tell the clients, every month we add new content, we add new templates and new funnels that we'll be pushing on your account. And this is where you can start charging additional monthly fee on top of the license, okay? There's a lot of self-onboarding and training that you can pre-package as well. Or you can create a small knowledge base, 8 videos, 10 videos, or just maybe simply one long training video to show people how to use the platform. Now, we do have a lot of that content already made, so you can send them our way. But if in your case, if you would want to white label that, you can create those documentations yourself. And normally, the client is the one that runs the platform, is not you. All you're doing is providing them with a link to sign up, white labeled with your own URL. They will go through that, get their hands on an account, that content will be loaded. They just have to do some basic setup following your self-onboarding and training. This is a great way for passive income. Again, great for trainers, coaches, resellers who are just going out there. They don't want to deal with the tech, with the management. They just want to do the setup and sell their systems to their customers. I highly recommend this model for those who are on the go and are really providing education in courses, seminars, and webinars. All right, moving on to this, one case study actually of somebody who's done exactly that is Yadira, who is working for WSI. What Yadira is doing is she's repackaging the software and selling it at 400% markup in some cases. And she was able to create residual revenue just by using the VBout reseller layer. And she's a great example of companies who are following that first type of resellers. All right, then we have the marketing automation setup and consultancy services. Usually, you would work closely with the client on their existing campaign. If they don't have any, you would put together the shell of a funnel. So you're working on strategy in this case. You're explaining to them what's the best way to get a client, nurture them, to close the deal, and to retain them. So you're actually trying to build a full funnel, sometimes maybe just for lead generation purposes, but sometimes for the entire flow. So it's totally up to you, and obviously you charge for how deep you want to go in there. Now, usually that type of setup, because it includes consultancy, it takes time, you have to do a lot of calls with the customer, you're looking at a starting point that's going to make sense to you. Now, depending on geography, depending on the types of clients, I would recommend starting price point $3,000. Okay, that's a good general price point. If you're working with, in certain geographies that, people cannot afford that type, small business, I recommend you work your own math. But a great starting point that I've seen between $2,000 to $3,000, you can create that basic strategy, implement them, and you can include some content writing. Now, you can upsell content, or you can include it or use it as a negotiation leverage. It's totally up to you. Okay. Now you can train them on the platform, whether you're doing it, side by side, or you have some ready documentation as well. And normally you would run the platform up to the point that your customer is ready to take it on. They've been onboarded and trained. Okay, this is a great way to package. Now, obviously, you can still get, like the first plan or the first type of resellers, residual income on the licenses that you resell. So that's always going to be there, regardless of which plan you're on. But obviously, in this particular service, in this particular reseller type, you have service involved, and that costs money. Your time costs money. So never sell yourself short. Make sure you're making enough to cover your hour. So if the whole thing will be 10 hours or 20 hours of work, what is your hour worth, and do the math from there. All right. An example of a company doing that is Ryan Kelly from Smart Marketing. He moved all his account to VBOUT from SharpSpring, and he was able to resell his amazing service. He has a great team of awesome marketers who run digital campaigns. They do the setup, they get the client on the system, and they organize their marketing layer with VBOUT, and they provided amazing support with help migrating on. Another case study, another great success story on the VBOUT platform. The third and last type of reselling that you can do is a full digital agency. This is probably where someone comes to you and they say, I have no idea how to set up marketing automation. I have no time. I just have the money to pay you to run it. Okay. Now here, a lot more work involved. So this is service at core versus having the software be the core of the offer. Okay. And typically an agency will analyze existing campaigns, what kind of funnels have been built, the ads, from lead generation to conversion, and it takes time, right? You got to get your hands on all those emails and initiatives that were done in the past, if any. The starting price point here could be $5,000 for the analysis and maybe execution of the first month or two, because it's going to take about a month or two to start the first campaign. Okay. You can obviously include the strategy. You always have that software license resell residual, right? And you're charging for the training. So do the math on that, but a $5,000 starting point on the setup, and as a residual, or monthly charge, you're looking at $2,000 to $5,000. This is where most companies feel comfortable. And in terms of the life of the contract, this is probably $10,000 plus. So if you're doing like a 6-month contract, $5,000 setup in month 1 and 2, okay, and then $2,000 a month thereafter at the lower end of things. Now you're talking about, for 6-month type of contract, $10,000 plus. All right. Now we don't recommend doing month to month, and I'm going to talk about that and the tips and tricks later. Try to manage the expectation of the customer. You need time, 3 to 6 months, to start showing some sort of results. So I would say put a life or a minimal period where you're executing. 6 months is ideal. If you can do a year, that's even better. Okay. This includes typically cross-channel. You're writing content for email, for SMS, for web push, for the web pages, landing pages, and even for ads if you want to include ads and charge extra for that. You're probably going to be doing co-marketing with the customer, and we do recommend you give your customers access to their platform and their license, so they could actually just see the data coming in. They could see the initiatives you're doing, and you're powering that amazing service that's worth every penny with a powerful software in the background. Okay. So these are the 3 types of agencies that we work with. Depends which one you want to be. This one is a full digital agency, very involving. You're probably going to need some subcontractors or employees, some employees to work with you, because it's a lot of work. All right, moving on. Second part, but before that, I always forget my amazing case studies and great clients. We have Andreas from Next Gen Marketing, who created a verticalized version of VBOUT for e-commerce wineries. So he would work with wineries on their digital strategy. He will set them up with VBOUT e-commerce layer, and then he resells all of that, including his service with VBOUT, including managing the campaigns, looking closely at every single email that goes out, automation, and fine-tuning from there. Okay. Again, another amazing case study and success with VBOUT. Now coming to this general selling tips. Now, as a person running a business, even if you're one person agency or a 20 or 100 people agency, you need to learn how to sell. Everybody should be a salesperson one way or another. But you're not selling products, you're selling solutions. Because you're selling solutions, it's easier to sell. But here are some things to help you with upsells and making more money on your plans. One, offer onboarding options. So in terms of onboarding, usually offer two. Some people just offer one, but you can have an accelerated and a full onboarding. Okay, you can test just leaving one versus the other, but we've seen that offering two onboarding options gives flexibility for you if you're working with an advanced client who doesn't need to pay the full tag for full onboarding, which could be a lot of time wasted on their end. They know their stuff, right? Do the express onboarding, which with more hands-on technical support. This is the area where most clients, even the advanced one, are going to require help. So the option number one is offer onboarding services as an add-on to your packages. Second, offer trial periods. I've seen agencies offer a certain period of 30 days opt-out or 30 days buffer, so people can see how you work with them. Okay. Now, if you're just selling the platform, from a SaaS perspective, a software perspective, it's easier to offer shorter terms. But if you're doing trial on your service itself, it's a little bit tricky because you're going to start putting in a lot of work pretty much right out of the door. So I think the trial period applies a lot better to the first model of selling, which is just selling software and prepackaged designs, not so much on managed side of things. Okay. So offer trial periods if you can, an opt-out period if you're offering extensive service. Now, build case studies. This is really important, and I do include this in the selling tips because every client, especially the first ones, are going to be the hardest to get. And once you get them, they might negotiate a lot, right? Which is typical for a starting business. And you might have to sacrifice a little bit of your margins in the beginning. If that's the case, capture case studies, because then you can build up on top of it, include in your collateral and your material, send them to your customers so they can see how awesome your service is and how other businesses are benefiting from you. So always build case studies, and the bonus that I'm including is a framework for you of how you can interview and build these. So stay tuned. I'll give you access to that towards the end. All right, know your competitors. I mean, this needless to say, guys, every time we jumped on a sales call, the consumer is educated enough to understand that you have competitors. How do you compete? What are their edge? What is their edge? The pricing differences, what kind of things they offer in terms of onboarding and cross-selling and hands-on support. So know your competitors. And we've offered a competitor chart on VBout. So if you are trying to understand how VBout marketing automation software stacks up against others, that ready chart will be available to you as well. Okay. But it's worth also looking, if you're a digital agency with full service, how your competitors with the full service as well compete with you. All right. Rethink your contract. I've attended this seminar talking about legal terms and contracts. And one thing that's stood out for me is kill your contract. If you have a 20, 30 page contract, you might want to rethink that. Contracts sent to clients or agreements sent, they probably need to be a couple of pages referencing the full term. So for those who are actually just worried about signing, they will go through the contract and they will leave the rest, the general terms for in case they want to dig deeper. Okay. Now, I'm not saying here for you to hide shady terms or anything like that. It's the total opposite. You need to be fully transparent. But in terms of the contract presentation, you can certainly shorten it as much as you can. So I highly encourage you to shorten the agreements, proposals, or contracts, and obviously make them official so they look nice and ready. And I'll include a sample agreement in the bottom of or at the end of this presentation. Offer short-term and long-term contracts with discounts. If someone signs up for just 3 months, full price. 6 months, 5%. 12 months, 10%. And I'm just giving you some general percentage discounts. You don't want to discount too much because that will cannibalize your margins. But just tell the client, listen, if you want to commit with us, we're going to be 100% with you for an entire year. A year, I'm willing to give you a break on our monthly deal. Try to create support and escalation tier. Okay, now if you're a first full service agency, obviously this is a completely different approach. But for the first two types of selling, you can actually create, tier 1 support for just doing basic answers and canned responses. And you can do escalations where you can actually handle some issues and templates in code. This is totally up to you how you want to use that and bundle it, but I think support can be an area where you can monetize. In VBOUT, we typically offer premium support for everybody, but for those who have taken onboarding, we do roll up our sleeves and we do a lot of coding and things for them in terms of templates, helping them set up automations and so on. So these are some tips on selling. Obviously, this is not a selling course or teaching you selling strategies per se as a salesperson. Tons of materials on that, but these are some things you can add to the way you present your offering. All right, now I'm going to talk about some automations you can deploy, and we have resources on these in VBOUT with in-depth details. One is trial expiration reminders. So if you offered that 14-day trial, before the trial is finished, you want to be able to send your client that kind of information. Now, I did cover a lot of automation courses and modules, and I'll give you access to the training so you know how to build them in the tech in VBOUT. But trial expiration is technically when you know something is coming up for renewals or expiry, you're sending them an option to upgrade. Okay. You can offer trial extensions. So if the 14-day trial have passed and the person did not add their credit card, maybe you can send them an email saying, hey, do you need an extension on your trial? You can do add-on upsells. Someone starts with a basic package. Maybe 2 months down the road, you sell them an option for an upsell. Or perhaps you can send them an email that's going to be, hey, thank you for signing up to our basic plan. We're including for the next 48 hours a very specific discount on the next year. You want to upgrade. These are just sample ideas. I know you can be more creative than me, but these deploy add-on upsells. It should definitely be part of your business. Build onboarding sequences, and if you can, do evergreen pre-recorded webinars. Lots of software out there, Webinar Kit, Demio, depending on how much you want to pay and how much features you need. But having those onboarding sequences, the welcome email, the lesson number 1, lesson number 2, what to expect, invitation to upcoming events, invitation to those evergreen webinars. Build these sequences, very important, very easy to build in VBOUT, and they're really going to do wonders for you for onboarding new clients. Finally, loyalty campaigns. Clients have been with you for a year, clients who has the premium tier, you can send them some special offers, maybe upgrades, include an add-on for them if they're spending more than X amount of dollars per month. So these are just few automations you can deploy on every one of the 3 buying reseller options I covered earlier, but they're definitely there, could be easily built in your automation follow-ups. Now, here comes the bonus, my personal favorite, and I'm just saying this because, guys, I was the one who had to work with attorneys to build these. I was the one who had to deploy a sales team that worked closely with me on building this material, and I know it cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to get here, and I wanted to provide it to you because I want you to take that shortcut. Okay, you don't have to, and I really wish I had the resources at my disposal at the point. Ready-made templates like contracts, frameworks. I had to go through the process. I had to pay to get here. So I'm giving it to you. Hopefully that's going to be beneficial in a shortcut. So let me outline exactly what I'm giving you here. One, I'm giving you access to our academy. So we'll follow up with an email. You can get access to it and become a VBOUT agency certification expert. I'll cover every single module in the technology. I'll cover every single reseller option within the technology because VBOUT is an agency-centric product. So we have a lot of tools for you to repackage the tool and sell it as your own. So with this, you're getting full access to the academy and you will not have to pay for it by following this particular link and this particular code you see right here. Now, this is a contract that you can download. Just repurpose, put your own logo, your own company name, recycle the jargon that's on there, but it is included with a link to download. This is an onboarding framework we've built. This is what we charge premium for, $3,500 to $4,000 for. You can go ahead and repurpose it as well, okay? Resell it to your customers, download the slides, and rebrand it as your own. This is a sample proposal. Now, some people like to go all out and make them beautiful with designs, and Canva is one place where you can actually create samples. This is a Word document with some outlines and things you can use. Slightly different than the contract or the agreement. Some people combine both. I'll leave that totally up to you, okay? We usually combine both and we'll put them together, and we just send an invite so people can, if they're interested, sign, see the details of the plan. However, if you're a service company and you have so much offering, they might not fit on that agreement. So I highly encourage do proposal instead as the first step. Upselling documents. This is just optional. Nothing too crazy. It's just this little slide that you can add to your presentations of, on-demand requests, which could be offered if you're selling just a product software, not selling service. So they need help with a landing page build or something like that. So these are just small on-demand services that you can offer. Case study framework. And I talked about case studies. You have to build those amazing testimonials from customers, not just the name and 2 sentences, full-on interviews, because you'll be using these guys inside your presentations, inside your ads, inside everything you do. These will serve you really well. So this is a framework. I'll include with you how you can start conversations, the sort of the flow that you should follow, what to focus on. An amazing framework my team has put together. So I want to thank them for that, and hopefully you'll leverage it beautifully. All right, guys, this was it. I did cover the 3 ways you can resell marketing automation and scale your agency. I've shared some tips for selling better. Automations you can deploy yourself, so you can automate part of that selling and closing, and also amazing resources. I'm going to go ahead and share with you now a quick video from our customers, why they're happy with VBout, how we were able to help. These are agencies that are hardworking individuals, has built them from scratch, and some of them became multi-million-dollar companies. Okay, you can be that next success story. All you need is a proper support, the proper tool, the proper framework, and obviously the proper ecosystem. And this is exactly what we're providing you here at VBout. I would love for you to join us. Watch this 1-minute mashup of different testimonials from agencies. And if you're interested, I would love for you to watch a demo of VBout. Reach out to my success team, who are not pushy. They will not sell you on anything. They just want to understand if VBout is a good fit for you. So I include a lot of those links around this area that you are watching this video on. But please watch this 1 minute and please take action. I think agency is in high demand, and you can provide so much values for clients who are looking for leads and to close more business. So thank you for watching us this far. I'll play this presentation again, and don't forget to book your next demo session, whether it's self-demo, watch it yourself, or to speak to one of my success team. So thank you, and I'll see you on the other side.
It's been amazing. It's made our life easier, and the ROI has probably been a 10 to 20x.
When we started working with you guys, we were sitting at around $480 million a year, and we just finished a 2020 with a $655 million year.
The team's just there, and they're prompt, and they're there to help and support, which that's really important for us, because also that comes down to our clients. So if our clients are having an issue and we have to come back to support, you guys have always been there.
The biggest difference I would have to point to with regard to VBout, though, has been the support. The support has been excellent.
That they no longer have to go into multiple places. They're literally going to one platform. Simple, straight to the point. That's it. I mean, they're going to one platform and it does everything that they need. And that just saves so much time. And as an entrepreneur, time is money.
With VBout, even from the time when we were trying our demo and our trial store or our trial account, it was the support's there all the time. It's fantastic support.
And keep everything in one spot so you can focus on your business.
On-platform chat support is tremendous. I get answers in less than an hour sometimes. I get answers in less than a few minutes. And you feel like you have your own dedicated team working with you side by side.
I need a partner more than just a software. I need a company that will work with me and offer advice and support. And I really found that to be the case with VBout.
This is the product